This is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst. Master Herbalist, coming to you from Good Shepherd Ministries.
So I was talking with a lady a little bit earlier, and she wanted me to talk about hernia, and so I'm going to go ahead and mute the microphones now, so that I can go ahead and talk a little bit about hernia, and then I'm going to ask someone to let me know what I should talk about next. Okay, because I always like to make this a discussion where I'm talking about relevant things that are pertinent information. Not that I'm prescribing or diagnosing, because I'm not doing that. We're not prescribing. We're not diagnosing here. What we are doing is having a discussion on natural remedies and people that have claimed that they've helped them, and which ones are helping them, and what are they doing to get this help, which ones are working. And so for 55 years I've been on the trail of doing that, and I've been on the radio and television for decades and decades now. And the first time I was on television, I was 12 years old. And I'm 76 in a couple of months, so that's a long time of being in the being in the public eye and helping people with natural remedies and doing various charitable and humanitarian services. That's my calling. That's what I do. I love to do that. I work by donation alone. So anyone who can give me a donation, I deeply appreciate it, because I don't make anything from or get anything from the sale of products, because that wouldn't be ethical. For me to be pushing products. So I don't do that. So that I never get a check from the manufacturer. No one gives me any. I don't get donations from any benefactor. I'm pretty much out here helping people, and mainly the poor, and not getting enough donations to keep going. And that's the way it is. And it's been going that way for decades and decades. And every month I put my Social Security check into this ministry of praising the Most High and helping people understand how to be comforted, no matter what their illness is. You can be comforted, and the body can go back to work again. We've seen it over and over and over, and the Most High does the healing. When you're using the Most High's remedies instead of the allopathic poison chemical drugs, when you learn which natural remedies that the Most High has put before us, and you get in touch with those and how to use them, you're going to see benefits that people who are being poisoned with these chemicals, they're just continually going to the doctor the rest of their life until their life is over. When people are using natural remedies, you're using the natural remedy to get over a situation. Then you're going on natural foods and just staying healthy, and pretty soon you don't get sick anymore, because you keep healing the body and with its natural remedies, and you keep working with the body until you're in touch with what your body wants. Everybody's different. Everybody has certain health challenges, and what I've done in the past 55 years is I've created a database of information, and it's on herbalhealthreview.com. That's not my website. If it was, evil people would destroy me. The evil politicians who are all for poison drugs and all against natural remedies, and people finding out how valuable they really are. And that's so I really fly against the federal government, and have for and been persecuted, and they tried to prosecute me, and they failed. A federal judge saw who I am and what I was doing, and told the FDA to go away and leave me alone, and don't come back to that courtroom ever again, and don't file any more paperwork against me, because they weren't going to go for that. And the FDA was astounded, and so was I. But I came there, and my attorney was the Most High, because I couldn't afford one. I'm a minister, and I don't get enough donations to do what I do, let alone fight the federal government. And the federal judge saw that, and saw who I was, and told the FDA to leave me alone. So, but they don't. They're still out there destroying your rights to choose natural remedies. They're making it as hard and as difficult as possible for you to get these products. They totally harass herbalists, and we've lost many of the great herbalists by death, and the death was something not right about the way they died, and so forth. Like Dr. Sebi, a great herbalist, cure for cancer. Federal government attacked him. He won, just like I did, and so mysteriously, this man was arrested, and when he was arrested and while he was in jail, he got pneumonia and died in jail with pneumonia. Now, pneumonia can be healed in 3 days with colloidal silver water, which apparently they wouldn't let him have, or any other natural remedies, and probably induced it on him. That's how evil this system is, and they're not above those kinds of things, because there's a lot of mysterious deaths in people in natural remedies, and you never know. And I'm certain that I'm a target as well, because they failed to persecute me to death. So that I'm sure that, and they don't give up. They do not give up. So I know they're waiting in the wings with some evil idea. I just don't know what. So, but anyway, what we're here doing is describing how to use these natural remedies, and I published all this information, and it's up on a website called herbalhealthreview.com. And you click on these common conditions, and you see all these reports. And for instance, if we're talking about hernia, because a lady asked about remedies for hiatal hernia, and that I should talk about that. So I'm going to go over here and drop that into the screen, and we're going to look at remedies for hiatal hernia. And that's the first thing we're going to talk about, because we don't normally talk about hiatal hernias. And a hiatal hernia is a condition in which a small part of the stomach protrudes through an opening in the diaphragm in the chest cavity. The diaphragm is the sheet of muscle that divides the chest from the abdomen. And hiatal hernias are most common in people who are 50 years old or older and obese. When they're overweight, that really sets the stage for hiatal hernias. And the exact cause of a hiatal hernia is still unknown. Medical science hasn't figured it out. They're baffled. But let's talk about what natural remedies can do. Natural remedies, we're talking about, the weak supportive tissues that can be the leading factor. So we need to strengthen these weak supportive tissues. And we're going to talk about how we can do that with natural remedies. Now, the other factors include the pressure on the stomach and the surrounding muscles, age-related changes in the diaphragm, and being born with an unusually large hiatus, the opening of the diaphragm. Now we're talking about poor posture while sitting is another factor that can bring it on. So we got to get that sitting posture as correct as possible, sitting up straight. Come on, you just can't do that, because if you slouch over and stuff, then you're setting the stage. So let's stop. Well, and we need to make sure that our posture while sitting is correct. Lifting heavy objects. We need to do this correctly and carefully, and maybe not even be lifting, and especially if you know you have a hiatal hernia, you don't want to be lifting heavy objects. And again, obesity is setting the stage for a hiatal hernia. Excessive smoking and too much stress in life also put you at higher risk to have a hiatal hernia. So this gives us things that we can work on. We can work on making sure that the posture is correct. Make sure that we're not lifting heavy objects. Let's get that weight down by going over to weight loss. We'll go over to that herbalhealthreview.com website. And when we're over on herbalhealthreview.com website, we're going to click on common conditions, and we're going to go down to weight loss. W for weight loss. I'm scrolling down there now. I'm on herbalhealthreview.com. I've clicked on common conditions, and I'm clicking on weight loss. So now it's telling us how we can do that. And it's talking about weight loss. It says holiday detox weight loss. Now that's a sensible way to lose weight, is to detoxify the body. And and when we're talking about the holidays, we're into the holiday season here, and holidays come and go, and we all will enjoy the food, because there's a lot of rich food going on there in the holidays. It's an excuse to eat too much of the wrong thing for most people, and they shouldn't, but they do. And how you can't say no, where you could, but it's hard. And so, but we need to be able to enjoy moderation in all things, prudence and moderation, and Thanksgiving in all things, and enjoy the food and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but not too much, without packing on the pounds. Now we're going to talk about some natural remedies that help burn fat and lose water weight and provide energy. Okay, because now we're on the trail of hiatal hernia by taking care of that weight, going to your perfect weight. Now here I am, be 76 in a couple of months, and I still weigh 140 pounds. Now but I have to start exercising more. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of not exercising enough. Sitting behind this computer and sitting here hour after hour, day after day, not even going for a walk, barely getting up and walking around a little bit. And that's wrong. I know that, and I'm going to have to work on it. But in the meantime, we got to rid of talk about how we're going to do this. Herbs for weight loss contain tonics that boost your nervous system, so you're in control. So you've got tonic herbs and you're strengthened so you can handle, so your nervous system is strong. That's one of the things with weight loss. This makes you more capable of coping with stress and prevents you from emotionally eating, because we emotionally eat, and we're going to have to stop doing that. So we're going to stop emotionally eating and doing ourselves a favor because we deserve it and so forth, because it's been a tough day, and then you eat the wrong thing. No, we're not going to do that. And if we are doing that, we're going to quit doing it. Now, herbs make you feel positive and also give you the strength to exercise. And with the combination of proper diet and nutrition and herbal supplements, you can feel good and enjoy the great holiday food in moderation. Okay. Now, between holidays, make sure you're following a good diet, a good nutritional diet. Like that Make Lifestyle Changes diet that's also under Common Conditions on the website herbalhealthreview.com. So now when we're on herbalhealthreview.com, we not only have we've got somebody ringing the doorbell. That's got to be interesting. Hold on while I go tell someone. I'm going to walk away here for just a moment. Stay with me. Stay with me. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So I even answered my door while I'm on the broadcast. I couldn't leave somebody standing at my door ringing the doorbell. So here's where we left off. Thank you for your patience with me. So we're talking about a good nutritional diet, and we talked about the fact that there is another tab under Common Conditions called Make Lifestyle Changes. That is the perfect diet. That's why I'm getting away with not exercising enough, but I still should anyway. And I've got to really work on that, because I've got the perfect diet, because I know about that Make Lifestyle Changes report that's on herbalhealthreview.com under Common Conditions. There's another tab, and it's called Make Lifestyle Changes. So I'm going to flip over there just to show you where it is. I'm going over here to herbalhealthreview.com, and I'm over here clicking on Common Conditions. And then I'm going down below that egg, and right in the center at the top it says Make Lifestyle Changes. Now, when you know about this diet, I don't see how anybody can be sick. I'm never sick now, okay? And I'm pushing it all the time. And I'm elderly, and I'm pushing it. But this is what I'm doing. I'm taking all these nutrients first thing in the morning. I'm having this absolutely delicious fruit plate, and then and that wears off real quick. And I'm drinking kombucha mushroom juice, and I'm making this power drink that tastes like chocolate, vanilla, cinnamon, and blueberries and cherries, and it's absolutely incredible. And when you find out about how delicious that is, then you stay at your perfect weight, and you have this delicious power drink that tastes like mangoes and cherries and blueberries and anything you want. And it has all these powders and things in it, all these nutrients that give you so much energy that you just you never get sick. And it even has whole food plant-based diet meal plans. So you got whole meal plans, and they're delicious, and you've got all these recipes, and it's all there. All that information is under Make Lifestyle Changes. So you needed to know about that. Now let's flip back over to that holiday detox, because here's the main thing. You want to make sure that you know about that Make Lifestyle Changes, and so you got the perfect diet, and it's delicious, and you're eating lots of fruits, all organic vegetables and fruits and nuts and seeds and grains, and you're eating wild caught fish and organic chicken if you're a meat eater, and if you're going to eat some organic meat, maybe find some wild caught organic meat. Instead of this eating a cow that's been, the poor thing has been mistreated, and even if he hasn't been all these hormones and so forth, and vaccinations and so forth in that cow, if that hasn't been done to it, other horrible things have anyway. So I really feel guilty eating cattle, but buffalo meat, wild caught meat, and a meat that's been prayed over, and food that's been prayed over. And now we're talking about how to eat and what to eat, and the diet can be whatever you want. And don't eat any pork at all. No, don't eat pigs. And why? Because if a rattlesnake locked onto a pig and pumped all of its poison in it, the pig will just chew the rattlesnake right off of it and eat it, and suck up all that poison, and it stays in the meat. So pigs store toxins in their meat. That's why I won't eat it. And the Bible says don't eat it, and I'm not going to. And I believe in the Bible, and Leviticus gives me the diet that I should have. So there's it's all there. No refined sugars in this diet. No processed foods in this diet. Drink lots of water, pure water with minerals, and about 64 ounces a day. And then there's Forkskolin. Now we're getting into the herbs that cause weight loss. Forkskolin, it contains no stimulants. Forkskolin contains 10% pure Forkskolin, the active ingredient in the Health and Herbs product. And the Forkskolin has been found to burn belly fat from within your body, boosting weight loss by more than 33.77%. That's pretty good. Studies have shown that daily Forkskolin intake can increase lean muscle and increase bone density. So that's number one. We'll use some Forkskolin. and by the way, we're looking at that Forkskolin, and if we click on it, now we're looking at the product, because you can click when you're looking at any of these reports. You can click on them, and it takes you over to the product. So now I'm looking at Forkskolin, and Forkskolin, how much is it? It's $15.60, and you can choose 60 capsules, or even up to 240 count capsules. You get 60, 90, 120, or 240 capsules. Wow. Okay. And let's see. So that means that the $62.40, that would be the 240 capsules. How many do you take? You take 500 milligrams per capsule, and you take one capsule before meals, and you drink 8 ounces of water. and you can take it 2 to 3 times a day. Man, wow. Okay. Well, that's forks colon. That's all about it. Let's go back to the head. Now what's the next thing? The next thing I would use is called Diet Master Tea. Now the Diet Master Tea has got Huir tea and green Robius tea and chickweed leaf and Garcinia Cambogia and bilberry whole and pau de arco bark and oolong tea and white peony tea and fenugreek seed and senna leaf and uva ursi and dandelion leaf and some stevia to sweeten it, and some of the individual ingredients have been seen and mentioned on Dr. Oz as a fat blasting machine. That's how he described those types of nutrients. And so we fashioned and created and balanced that formulation and created it. And that's created, again, another remedy that I've created over the past 55 years. But it helps to burn stored fat into energy. So now we have two things, the forks colon and the Diet Master Tea. Now there's a very inexpensive mineral called chromium. And this chromium is a trace mineral, and it helps to enhance the action of insulin. So it's fantastic for diabetics and pre-diabetics. And as a matter of fact, that mineral alone can just shut that down. And all of a sudden they say, you don't have any diabetes problems anymore with that inexpensive mineral called chromium, which helps enhance the action of insulin, as well as being involved in carbohydrate, sugar, fat, and protein metabolism. And it's an inexpensive way to lose weight. So chromium. So we got 3 things here: forks colon, Diet Master Tea, chromium, and there's a lot of others. I mean, if you like an energy up, weight down capsules with a lot of nutrients in it and antioxidants, a lot of citron and rich chlorophyll amino acids and vitamins and minerals and beta carotene and iodine and DNA, RNA and enzymes. Well, they make that. It's called energy up and weight down. So there's all these, and then there's just plain Garcinia Cambogia by itself. There are many different weight loss things that we can do. And one of them here is a colon and liver cleansing liquid that cleans up the liver, the bloodstream, and gets that liver going back to work again. And that very often is one of the reasons why you feel sluggish. If those bowel movements aren't always kept soft, then you're not draining all the bad things out of your body that you want to. And going through and making sure that every bowel movement is so soft that when you flush the toilet, it breaks up in a cloud. Now the sewer system of the body is working efficiently, and that's what you're looking for. And so that's why the 1078 is the middle of the road colon and blood, colon, liver cleansing detoxifier, and it serves to regulate and cleanse the liver and the colon and regulate bowel movements, and you're in charge. Whether it's a teaspoon, a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, whatever it takes. It's not habit forming, and over time you use less and less and less, and you don't need it anymore. It rehabilitates the liver, the digestive tract, and cleans up the blood along the way. And when you're using that with a special fiber that detoxifies the body and pulls toxins to it and imparts green foods, chlorella, spirulina, barley grass, wheatgrass, all the green foods, and it's detoxifying the body, and it's feeding the body, and it's pulling toxins to it. With the bentonite clay, that is a clay that gets rid of MRSA. That's right. That flesh-eating disease, bentonite clay destroys it. A bentonite clay is one of the greatest things that you can to do, and it's in this special fiber, number 4837. So now when you're taking all these colon and liver cleansers and things, all of a sudden you're losing weight and you're getting rid of it, and it's being removed from your body along with all the toxins. Can you imagine how good you feel, how nice the skin gets, how clear it gets, and how acne and skin disorders and abscesses and so forth tend to go away? Now, if there is constipation and the bowel movements, you don't even have a bowel movement every day or once a week, some people are telling me, then you go for a colon and liver cleansing tea, because otherwise you'd be using a lot of the liquid. It's handier and it works great, but you would have to use a lot of it. So if you'd rather brew up a tea and be more economical, if economics is a factor, then the real constipation breaker is a tea called CACT, colon and liver cleanser tea, number 4110. And that number 4110 herbal tea, that will get rid of constipation, will train the bowel to go back to work again, and then you will not use it. After a while, you'll use less and less and less, and then you don't use it anymore. But that is really how to detoxify and lose weight. But then let's talk about the rest of the story. And in that Make Lifestyle Changes, you're going to see that there is a product called Intramax. Now, the Intramax is a multiple vitamin. It is the king of multiple vitamins. Over 415 all organic, ingredients. And with a half ounce in the morning and a half ounce in the evening, you are supplied all these nutrients, and you're really, somebody is calling me, but I can't answer because I would be disconnecting the call from Uber conference, so I can't do that. So we'll just have to call that person. But I have CID capture, so I've captured that telephone number, and I will have that number, and I'll be able to call that person back. Unless they have, sometimes people have that unknown number. Well, I can't call them back then if they don't let me screen capture it or CID capture it. But anyway, Intramax is the best multiple vitamin, and it gives you all this nutrition. Because when we're losing weight, we are draining all these things out of the body. We need to put back a lot of nutrition. And very often, so we're using this Intramax. And if it's a child, there's IntraKid for children. Best multiple vitamin in the world, and it's in a liquid. You hold it in your mouth for a minute, so it really goes through the cheeks and under the tongue and in the bloodstream immediately, and you get a blast of all this nutrition. It's really the best. And so Intramax, number 2302, that is the state-of-the-art multiple vitamin that give you the energy to be able to have the, if when you're not getting the nutrition, you keep craving. You say, I need something. But when you get the right nutrition, you don't crave anymore. You're satisfied, and you've got the strength to push the sugar away and push the unnecessary fats away and so forth, and eat a diet that is going to work for you. And this person is calling me again, but I can't not take that call. So in area code 478, I'm sorry, I will call you back. Now, the other thing we find, because we're talking about hiatal hernia, and we're talking about losing weight, and we're talking about how to do it. So now we really set the stage. We're losing weight. We're draining things out of the body. We're detoxing and getting rid of all the bad stuff. And a lot of times the glands are involved. A low thyroid, a thyroid that's up and down. And there is a gland rejuvenator, number 1196. Number 1196 gland rejuvenator, that formula helps balance blood sugar levels. It helps regulate lymphatic system, stimulates and strengthens the spleen and the pancreas, and it stimulates the thyroid, and it balances the endocrine system, and it helps keep the heart in proper function, and it can be used to aid digestion and to eliminate toxins and dissolve gallbladder stones. And then there's raspberry ketones. So that's a gland rejuvenator, a teaspoon 3 times a day. Bam! Now the glands are in balance. Because a lot of times you can go on all the diets you want to, but if the glands are not working, then you're not going to lose that weight. So now there's a gland rejuvenator. And below that, there's even more help to lose weight. I mean, here, you've got a whole list. Do you have to do everything? Hopefully not. You just start doing a few things here and start adding it until you overwhelm an overwhelming problem. That's how you do this. You overwhelm an overwhelming problem. If you can do it with 1 or 2 or 3 items, wonderful. You're done. But if you need more help, here is more help. The cavalry has arrived. And raspberry ketones are found in raspberries. And they significantly aid in weight loss. And it blocks fat by encouraging the body to use fat instead of storing it. And so these raspberry ketones encourages hormones that metabolize fats for energy. So it gives you more energy. And it helps suppress the appetite. Raspberry ketones. And it aids in the breakdown of fat molecules to be used for fat metabolism. So these raspberry ketones, that's a great one to add if you need it. And even more help is glucomannan, cognac. It's Konjac, and the J is silent, so they call it glucomannan, and the botanical name is cognac. And it's a powder. And you could put that with some juice or in your power drink that's over there on Make Lifestyle Changes. And this cognac is a water-soluble dietary fiber that is derived from the cognac root. And what happens with this, it's expanding in the stomach. And it can be useful for people trying to lose weight because cognac is, when it's placed in water, it can swell up to 17 times its original volume. So it makes you feel full. Several studies have suggested that it may help obesity, lower triglyceride and cholesterol levels, and blood sugar levels, and help high blood pressure. Now, when we're talking about high blood pressure, I'm going to digress a moment. A lot of times when you've got a problem with high blood pressure, you have to address the kidneys. You can't ignore them because it's the kidneys that are putting a load on that blood pressure on the heart and so forth. And you'll never get over high blood pressure if you have a serious case of it until you work on the kidneys and the high blood pressure all at the same time, and then go back to that Make Lifestyle Changes diet and go on that diet and then forget about being sick because you won't be. Now, also, besides the glucomannan, which is a great thing to know about, especially if there's a triglyceride or cholesterol or blood sugar or high blood pressure problem, glucomannan would be a great thing to know about. And then there's branched chain amino acid complex, because that's where you're getting an ideal ratio of 2:1 ratio of free-form crystalline branched chain amino acids like L-leucine and isoleucine and L-valine combined with the conditionally essential amino acid L-glutamine. And that's the BCAAs exert an anti-catabolic effect by reducing the breakdown of protein, thereby protecting muscle tissue. And that's why that could be significantly, those branch chain amino acids would be very helpful with that hernia. Okay, so we would be certain to add those when there's a hernia. And then and if we're still working on weight loss, finally we're talking about arginine and ornithine, number 2322. Use it for weight loss and muscle metabolism and immune system and liver disorders. So those amino acids, the extra arginine plus ornithine, are going to be very helpful, again, when there's a hernia. And finally, eating more mango could help with diabetes, cancer, and weight loss. And that was in a study of obese animals, showed a consumption of freeze-dried mango led to a decline in blood sugar levels. In separate analysis, research suggested that the mango's anti-inflammatory powers could point to an anti-cancer potential. And that's it for weight loss when we're talking about hiatal hernia. And now, getting back to hiatal hernia, we touched on a very important thing that is usually part of a hiatal hernia. Now, a warm water fix to treat hiatal hernias. Just after waking up, while you are still in bed, drink a glass of room temperature or slightly warm water. Then if there's a hiatal hernia, you do that first thing in the morning. I'll say it again. First thing in the morning, just after waking up, while you are still in bed, drink a glass of room temperature or slightly warm water. Then you stand up and you lift up your arms straight out in front of in front of you, like this, and you bend your elbows so your hands touch your chest, okay, and you help stretch the diaphragm to open up the hiatus. Now you rise up on your toes and you quickly drop down onto your heels. Not too quickly. We're going to do other kind of, we're going to slowly, okay? Not too quickly here. There's elderly people doing this. Unless you're an athlete, you can quickly drop down into your heels if you're a super person. If not, we'll do it slowly. Anyway, you do this several times, and you rise up and on your toes, and you drop down. Okay, you're not bending your knees. You're doing it like this. You're just rising up on your toes, like that, and back down on your heels. Okay. Okay. We're not dropping to the floor and doing squats here and knee bends. We're not doing that. That'd be hard on the knees. So we're just doing this. Okay. And okay. That's really getting that diaphragm opened up. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, then you throw your arms up and take a few short, quick breaths, and open your mouth for about 15 seconds, and the panting will tighten the diaphragm, back up, and close the holes. Okay. Now that exercise is in the screen capture. So later you can see this video and see what I'm looking at and what I'm describing, because it's all descriptive, and so you're going to be looking at it. Now, Drinking warm water first thing in the morning and then performing the following exercise is a good way to help bring down the hernia from the opening in the diaphragm. So now we know about that, and we know that that warm water is gonna help to relax the stomach muscles and the diaphragm and put some weight in the stomach. Then standing up and lifting your arms straight out in front of you, and then and to the sides and your sides like that, and bending your elbows. Well, your hands touch your chest, and then you're going to help stretch the diaphragm and open the hiatus. And then you're rising up on your toes and back down on your heels. Quickly dropping down. Yes, we can do that. We can do that quickly, up and down quickly. That's going to open up that diaphragm, and do this several times in a row. And this will help the weight of the water to pull the stomach down. Then, while you're standing with your arms up, take a few short and quick breaths with your mouth open for about 15 seconds. The panting will help tighten the diaphragm back up and close the hole. And in the morning, avoid drinking coffee, tea, juice, or cold water. Don't do it, okay? Self-massage to treat a hiatal hernia. Lie on your back and relax and put your fingers below the breastbones, right in, just below them, in the sternum there, where you can find your rib cage. Okay, you found it. There it is. And next, apply downward pressure, slowly moving your belly button, kind of like this. Okay. Let me see if I can show you that move. Okay, just like that. All right. Okay, now we're slowly towards your belly button. Okay, you do that for about 5 minutes. Do it twice daily, once in the morning and once in the evening. Okay, the abdominal self-massage mainly targets the uppermost portion of your abdominal cavity. It helps reduce the discomforts and the symptoms of hiatal hernia. It also helps strengthen the stomach muscles. So now we know how to do that. And there's yoga. Yoga can also alleviate pain and discomfort caused by hiatal hernia. And there's a complete a method of doing that. So all of these are descriptive. We're doing a screen capture. You can go to the website herbalhealthreview.com. You can click on Discoveries in Health. Go all the way to the bottom. And next week, this video describing all of this will be there, and it's free. You can't buy anything on herbalhealthreview.com. You can leave me a donation. They for all of my work and so forth. I have a donation button, and to keep going, to keep this, to keep teaching, to keep helping people who can't give me a donation, because mostly I'm helping people who can't give me a donation. They're sick. They're out of work. And when they tell me that, I say, don't give me a donation. Probably a good reason why I'm not getting enough donations to keep going, huh? But what am I going to do? I can't quit. I've been doing this for 55 years. I'm not going to quit. Even if I'm not getting enough donations, and even if year after year I have to put my Social Security check in to doing all this and helping people, that's what I'm going to do. But I need donations, so please hit that donation button on herbalhealthreview.com and leave me a donation. I need it. I need it to keep going. I have so many people who can't give me a donation. I need to help them, and I always will. Now, so you've got all of these exercises. There's apple cider vinegar. It's an excellent remedy to reduce the symptoms like heartburn and acidity due to hiatal hernia. It's acidic in nature. Apple cider vinegar produces an alkaline effect on the body. So you add 1 or 2 teaspoons of raw, unfiltered, organic apple cider vinegar to a glass of warm water. And you sip it slowly before meals. You do this whenever you have heartburn or acidity, acid reflux. That's when you do the apple cider vinegar. And cinnamon is a popular spice that helps calm and soothe the stomach. And it can relieve abdominal pain and bloating, especially after eating a meal. It also works as a natural antacid. So cinnamon is a natural antacid. Throw those Tums away, and just have a little cinnamon. It's delicious. That's why there's cinnamon in our power drink, and a lot of it, and it's wonderful as a natural antacid. Cinnamon. I put a tablespoon or 2 in my power drink. I really have a cinnamony, chocolate, vanilla, lots of raisins, blueberries, cherries in my power drink. It's so delicious. As soon as this broadcast is over, I'm going to go have one. But anyway, yes, cinnamon. I love cinnamon. And drink a cinnamon tea 2 or 3 times a day while it's warm, and it's just wonderful. And I need a drink of water. Ah, yes. All right. Here we are. Oh, and some kombucha mushroom. Good for the digestion.